to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best.
Yes, my dad and I are back to bring you some brilliant guests and tremendous food to tantalise those taste buds.
Yeah, joining us today, she's a bake-off champion and a pub landlord. Bacon and booze, I mean, what a great combination. Why didn't I think of that? It's Candice Brown.
And we have not only a four-legged friend with us today, but we also have a TV legend who has teamed up with her daughter for a brand new podcast. I mean, imagine using your own kids for your own game. So Lorraine Kelly and her daughter Rosie Smith!
And it won't be Saturday without a visit to our kitchen to cook up a fabulous feast with our resident chef, Shivi Ramoutar. Morning, Shiv. What are you teaching us to cook today, then?
Today we're going to the seaside with a delicious, fabulous fish finger sandwich and a simple homemade tartare sauce.
Sounds absolutely delicious. See you later.
Now, look, we always like to kickstart the conversation with a little music question. But my first question is, please introduce us, Lorraine.
Oh, well, this is Ruby. Kind of my granddaughter, right? Yeah. She really is. It's Rosie's wee dog, and she's so gorgeous.
How old is Ruby?
She's 4 months now.
She's 4 months?
Yeah.
I mean, if she does just want to play on the grass today, you can just let her run.
Yeah.
I'm worried that she's going to go on the grass and do something unspeakable.
She can't do something unspeakable.
Oh, does it?
She's a lady.
Yeah, she's a lady, of course. Well, look, lovely to have her here today.
If she wants to go away, use the big stone.
Yeah, the big
stone.
stone.
My little dog did that last time.
Well, she might smell it.
Yeah.
She probably will.
Guys, we like to kickstart the show with a little bit of a music question. What was the #1 song on this very day back in 1993?
Ooh.
Dad, something significant happened in 1993, didn't it?
I know what happened in 1993. He was born in the January, right,
Yes.
of 1993.
The January.
Yeah. In the January of
Back in your
1993.
January.
You were born in January 1993, right? And the song
What
that I
day?
remember... 28th.
Yeah, well done.
Right, there you go. The song that I remember was Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You, because Shirley, that was the song that Shirley would hold Roman in his arms like that, and sing it to him.
OK, it's a very cute story. You got out of that one. Well done. Lorraine, what about yourself?
I don't know. What do you think?
I wasn't
1993?
alive.
You weren't alive because you were,
94.
You were 94. I don't know. I always remember the 90s, just Bryan Adams being #1 forever.
Bryan Adams is a good shout.
I don't know, but that might have been earlier. That might have been 91, 92. I'm not sure.
Go with it. It's quite a safe bet.
Do you think?
We'll lock that one in.
It was #1 for years.
Candice, what do you reckon?
It's not going to be like someone like Celine Dion, is it? Think Twice or something like that.
It might.
I would have gone Spice Girls, but then I just quickly worked out in my really bad maths that I don't think it's quite early enough. So I'm going to go Celine Dion, maybe. Think Twice.
Right.
Dion,
So I think everything I do for you. It was that.
That
was the one.
That's a
Oh, yeah, right, yeah, of course. Very good song. Look, do you know what? You're all within the right era, obviously, and you're going to kick yourselves because it was...
Oh, my God! Oh, the best!
This track.
Take that, Pray. The song was #1 for 4 weeks, marked the start of peak Take That. It was actually their first of 12 singles that reached #1. One of the biggest cultural moments of the 90s as well was, of course, Robbie Williams leaving the band.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently...
People had to get counselling.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Devastating.
Robbie always talks about the fact that his one thing that he did when he left the band was he got up out of a meeting and took a pineapple away from the meeting as a memento for being in Take That. Okay. So I guess a lovely question. You get me thinking, what's something that you have taken as a memento from somewhere that you probably shouldn't, Candice?
I think I might have too many to mention. Not that I'm a little tea leaf or anything like that. I tell you what I do have as a memento, and it wasn't me that took it, this one's just come to me, because there were things like ladders, we borrowed the builders' ladders and things like that. But when I did my first food festival in amongst my food heroes, Hidden, who's a really, really good pal of mine now, I saw my name on one of the borders, like one of the posters, amongst sort of Paul Ainsworth and Josh Hartnett and people like that, and I was like, how is my name in amongst there? And they've got it for me, so I've got it in my kitchen at home. It's a big old poster with my name in amongst my chef heroes, so that's a really good thing. I didn't take it myself. Had they not got it for me, I may have gone back in the night
And stolen it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rosie, what about you?
I don't know if I've got one that's interesting, but you always do it. Every year, you always nick something, and I've probably given it away and borrowed. The Christmas decorations.
The
in your
Christmas
studio.
decorations in the studio, I always nick the biggest one. It's a tradition.
But everyone knows, Mum. You try.
Well, you save a lot of money, you know.
I know. Actually, we have got rather a lot now.
Yeah.
We've got loads. But you know what you used to do with the Christmas tree? They divide it in half, and half of it would be my show, and the other half would be loose women, and they just burrow the Christmas tree round. You know, we share the same studio, so they would just turn it round. But you're right. I have done that. I have done that quite a lot.
Every year.
Yeah.
But it's it's a tradition, so it has to.
I like if you guys got arrested as a pair, Rosie, you just go, Mum, you steal stuff. Anyway.
every year.
I'd forgotten every night.
Now, Candice describes her kitchen as a happy place, which is why her latest cookbook is all about happy cooking. Candice, absolutely lovely book, this.
Thank you.
It's a little bit different to other cooking books, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, it is. So my first book, Comfort, was off the back of Bake Off straight away, just straight in with the cakes. Everyone wanted cake and comfort food and everything. And then, this one's been sort of 4 or 5 years in the making, but something I've always struggled with and did before Bake Off, during Bake Off, now, and probably now more than ever, is my mental health. So I decided to try and stop being ashamed and actually speak about it. Properly for the first time, spoke about my diagnosis, or diagnoses. What's the plural? I don't know. And the various different bits and pieces that I struggle with, but also work with every day. And food is one of the things that gets me through that. It always has done. It's been the place I go to when I'm happy. It goes to the place when I go when I'm sad, when I'm angry, when I need to be all consumed. And then sort of last year, in amongst the madness of everything and people actually being forced to take time, people started gravitating towards the kitchen more and more and started doing the thing I'd kind of always done, and I kind of thought, OK, now's maybe my time to bring that all together. And actually, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. There's brownies in there, there's bread in there, that's all been done before. It's just my way of doing it, and I really hope that it kind of maybe helps people a little bit. If it doesn't, but they enjoy the recipes, then great. If people can go, gosh, yeah, that is me. I have that grey cloud. I use bread to pummel and take it out on, then great.
Yeah.
Well, cooking's therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Really?
You know?
Yeah, because you split the book into different chapters that cover different emotions.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think how you feel affects what you cook, then?
Absolutely. Sometimes, I mean, for instance, there's quick pick-me-ups in there, which are sort of from start to finish 30 minutes. And there's long, drawn-out recipes that literally all consume you for hours, or something that you can give away and you get that little bit of, for me, gratification that maybe I go, oh, actually, I am OK. I am quite good at this sometimes. But also, the whole thing through it is just, if you haven't got something, don't worry about it. Whack in something else, play around with it. And do you know what? If it's not right and it doesn't turn out right, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's really, really OK. And, yeah, I'm really proud of it. I mean, terrified. I'm still terrified that is me.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really proud, really proud of it.
Did you get my message earlier on that everybody who comes on, usually, the deal is that they bring me and Roman a treat?
I mean,
Oh, really? Oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
That has never been a rule. That has never been a rule.
What are you talking about?
No one has ever said that.
I was worried. Da-da-da.
Oh, you did it! Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, I have a thing about double deckers.
Oh, I sit down, mate.
Don't eat them all, though.
I was going to say, chill out.
Share.
Share.
All right.
Yeah, so these are my double-decker brownies. So there's brownie with nougat in and then chocolate Rice Krispies on top. I love a double-decker. I trekked the Himalayas and we were told to take energy bars and things like that. I took 30 double-deckers.
30 double-deckers,
yeah.
That's the way of it.
Yeah.
I'm so in awe of you, so in awe.
I mean,
because
So delicious.
they're pretty filthy.
Oh, look,
they're
those.
pretty filthy.
They look
It's delicious.
I mean, they're unbelievable.
What's your favourite recipe in the book, then?
Oh, my God.
I mean, this is a particular favourite because you can mess around with it. You can add different bits and pieces to it.
So good. I am so in awe. I can't do anything. No, I can melt chocolate and put cornflakes in it.
But that's what's on top of there?
That's about as far. But you cook, Rosie, I don't know where she gets it from, but not from me. definitely not for me. Do you know, I can't even turn the oven on. It's shameful.
No, you can turn the oven on.
I can turn it on.
You're like my dad.
I just turn it on. Are you really
Dread
bad
to think
at
if
it?
you guys had kids. My word.
What would we do? It would be cold beans out of tin.
Yeah.
Candice, you say it doesn't matter, right, how it turns out in the end. It's about the process of cooking.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, for sure.
What makes you happy.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you.
Really? I thought you might.
But let's have a look. We've got a little picture of something. Oh.
Did you get this from Mum?
Yeah, what was the process that went wrong there?
So that was only a couple of weeks ago. So when people go, do you have accidents? And I'm like, yes, I'm like a whirlwind in the kitchen anyway. But this was, I was playing around with a recipe and it was going to be amazing. I was doing like a cookie on the bottom, a blondie on top. This was just finishing service, so the chefs are there as well. And I was checking it and I took it out. And as I went to put it back in, the bottom fell out. My crocs are just under there as well. The chef just looked at me, Jacob just went, and I knew it was bad because he didn't even laugh. And I literally just scraped the lot out, put it on a tray, put it in the kitchen. He went, are you going to clean the bottom of the oven? I went, yes. And I just took myself for a breather. When I came back, a couple of the staff, it was like that Friends moment. We're like, that bit hasn't been on the floor. That I mean, it's lovely. Like, people are just like, it's fine, it's really nice. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, it happens. It happens.
Seeing as obviously we have a Bake Off champion on the show, we thought we would make full use of the cake-based expertise at hand and actually have you judge some efforts that were sent in by the viewers. You ready for this?
Love this.
OK, so first up is a creation from Gemma in Oxfordshire.
That's cool.
Oh, is that wee Highland cow?
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
Oh, it's lovely.
Is that spaghetti?
Is that spaghetti?
It's not tin spaghetti, is it? I mean, it's incredible.
It is.
Oh, so it's a savoury cake. But it's very true to life.
It's very, very good.
Guys, you're being so kind. It's a cake with spaghetti on it. Like, it is a cake with spaghetti on it. But, nonetheless, very artistic.
Very artistic.
Very artistic. Here's a magical attempt from Kirsty in York. Take a look at that.
good.
Bit of Hogwarts going on.
Yeah. Is
not
that
too
ice
bad.
cream cones upside down?
It's probably better than what I could do, if
it's
I'm
good.
honest.
Yeah.
And then there is this one from Fergus in London. Which
I love the
haunts your
hedgehogs.
dreams forever.
Do you know what? That's
Okay.
hilarious.
Apparently, that was modelled on Fergus's actual pet hedgehog, Douglas, shortly after he tried to cross the road.
Oh, that's cute.
The hedgehog ones, there are so many of them. They are so good. They bring them up all the time and they are so bad they are good. Yes.
Yes, that's brilliant.
It's the eyes.
But that's the
They follow
that's
you,
the fun
right?
thing about baking is if it doesn't look good, just eat it. And
Eat it with your eyes closed.
doesn't matter.
Eat with your eyes closed.
Absolutely, it all tastes good. Candice, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
you for
Enjoy
having
yourself while
me.
you're here.
I will.
Candice's new book, Happy Cooking, is available now.
Time for a quick break, but when we come back, I'll be chatting to someone else who knows what it's like to have to work with their parents. Be like therapy for me.
And Shivi's in the kitchen cooking up a classic comfort dish. See you in a bit. Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best.
Candice Brown, Lorraine Kelly and her daughter Rosie Smith are joining us today.
And shortly we're going to be heading into the kitchen for a cookery lesson with Shivi.
But first, we've all had that sliding doors moment where our lives change direction forever. But have you ever wondered what would happen if you actually had taken that path? Well, that's what Lorraine Kelly and her daughter Rosie Smith are exploring in their new podcast, What If? So, I mean, guys, tell us, what is your what if moment?
Oh gosh, I've got quite a few. I think for me, not going to university, I was supposed to go to university and it would have been a big deal and I would have been like the first one in the family. And instead I went and worked in local newspapers and I was going to go to university to do Russian. And
Russian?
I know.
Why?
I know. Well, I went to Russian classes at school. I got it
Right.
at school. There was only like 2 of us did
You
it.
can still do a little bit.
No, I cannot. No, I have to be full of vodka.
Okay.
I can't do it.
I try. Every time you bring it up, I'm like,
I
come
know.
on.
I am already primed, waiting for Twitter to start saying how Lorraine Kelly is actually a Russian spy. She's been interviewing people throughout time.
You've outed me. That's me. No, but I went to local newspapers instead, and it was the best thing that I ever did. And sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone down that
Yeah.
other path. I think we all do, don't we? And it was just a really good idea to get so much, different conversations from
Yeah,
people.
I think
wasn't it?
everyone can relate to it. I think everyone's got...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Obviously, Rosie, your mum is the queen of telly, you know. But this kind of podcast, am I right in thinking that this was kind of like your kind of brainchild? This one.
Yeah, we wanted to do something together. We just didn't know what.
And you thought a podcast would be really good. And we sort of had a few ideas, and then it's been great though, hasn't it? Because I've been able to talk to people for longer.
Yeah.
Because normally it's like, as you know, both of you, it's like 5, 6, 7 minutes, and that's lovely. But this is great, and we talk to people that we love, don't we?
Yeah.
Who's been your favourite, Rosie?
Craig David.
Craig David.
Any excuse to speak to Craig David.
I know. I did just want to quickly bring up Craig David, because I know you guys have met Craid David personally.
We have.
You hung out with Craig David in Marbella.
Yeah.
We did.
Why did I not see this in the tabloid?
There is photographic evidence.
There is. There's a picture somewhere.
Wasn't
There's
it?
a picture with you in one of those massive bottles of vodka that's on a spiral thing.
No.
And you wheel it. There is. I've got it.
Right, on a chair and then...
Yeah.
That was somebody else altogether.
I think there was a hot tub in that nightclub as well.
Was
At the back, there was a hot tub.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
The things people do. No, I loved it. It was great. We had the best time. And he is the kindest, loveliest man.
I know he is, indeed. But, Lorraine, I have to ask, did you ever have any reservations about, when Rosie came to you and she said, should we do a podcast together, putting your daughter in the limelight as well?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know exactly what you mean. I think because this is Rosie's idea, and she went to university and did a journalism degree, and then she worked out in Singapore for a long, long time. And you've just always grown up with me, it's not been a big deal, has
It's
it?
always been the way. I think it would be different if you, maybe started to go on the telly when I was like 15 or something, but I don't know any difference.
Yeah,
I think
and it's not a big deal. Only when you were little and Westlife were on.
Rosie, your mum has interviewed so many people throughout her career, but, I mean, when it comes to picking who gets to go on the podcast, is it more your decision?
we come up with it together in a way, but then I come up with names that I don't think you would ever
Well,
think
who?
of. I want to get Vinnie Jones on.
Oh, Vinnie Jones, we love
Vinnie.
him.
Yeah.
He must have so many different roads that he might have gone down.
How many more did he not take?
Well, this is
I don't know.
but it's a real mixture. I mean, we've got people like Tim Peake, the astronaut, KSI.
Yeah, the
We've got-
lineups.
It's pretty diverse, isn't it? It's really good, and that's what I love about it. It's been
Brilliant.
been
You're
so
already on the second series, though, aren't you?
Yeah, that we are, and that's. But it's just been a joy. It's been an absolute joy, and I think I've learnt more from Rosie. I honestly believe I've learnt more from her than you've learnt from me.
what?
Well, just the way that you ask questions, and and you've got this really. You're so curious about everything. You're like me in that sense, but also how you're just willing to go down a rabbit hole with someone. I love that.
Okay.
I love
That is absolutely lovely.
Now, Lorraine and Rosie, as this is the first time we've had another parent-child combo on the show,
Yeah.
I thought we could have a little bit of a game called
Okay.
Match Me If You Can.
Okay.
You up for this?
Yeah.
OK, so, Rosie, this is how it's going to work. You and I are going to be asked a series of questions that relate to our parents, and all we have to do is write down what we think the answers are on our boards. Then, Lorraine and Dad, you must also write down what the actual answer is, and if the answers match your child, a point is awarded. Whoever can match the most answers will be crowned TV's best parent-child combo.
Oh, God.
Bradley and Barney Walsh didn't sadly qualify for this. And girls, just to spicing it up, and just so that you can leave with a memento if you did actually beat the Kemps, you could win yourself one of these.
Now you want to win.
Oh, I do want to win.
I do want to win.
OK, right. Candice, you are our quiz master for today.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Such power on the show.
Much power. Right, everybody.
So please, let's have the first one.
OK. What is your parents' worst habit?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like there's going to be a... No, it's not. After this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Okay.
do.
Have you got answers?
OK, so we've done it. So what we're going to do
Do you
is...
reveal or?
You guys reveal yours in 3, 2, 1.
I put talk
Talk
too
too
much.
much.
Oh, that was
Worrying.
yeah.
What did you put?
Worrying.
I do.
Worrying.
I worry about daft things.
Yeah. OK, all right. OK, so the nil point over there. You ready for us?
Nil point.
3, 2, 1.
Picking his nose.
Picking-
Don't listen.
Oh, no! That is so bad.
I can't believe
I
that.
thought you'd put that. Sorry, mate.
Sorry.
Sorry. All right, should we go for the next one?
Yeah.
Let's go for the next one.
Okay, next question. What is your parents' favourite dessert?
Oh, I know this one.
I know
this one.
Oh, I know. I know.
This is a good question.
You can't look.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Honestly, I'm really not looking. Okay. I wasn't looking.
Okay. Have you guys got yours?
Yeah.
Please reveal.
I'm going for chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake,
Yeah.
lava cake. I'll give you
And you put
that
that, and
one.
then it all comes out.
Oh, is that what that is? I didn't know that's what it's
Melty in the
called.
middle.
Oh, I love that.
Chocolate lava cake. I'll
Yeah.
give you that
Yeah,
one.
do you
Okay,
think-
so
Yeah.
Ray, love a bit of chocolate cake. Okay, ours is 3, 2, 1. Apple pie. Come on, man.
Nothing.
Mate, you never have apple pie.
We do have apple
You have
pie.
been going on about this. What's this called?
Brandy donut
thing.
Candice,
You
what's
didn't
a
even know it's called a rum barbar.
But I think it should be called brandy donut thing.
Yeah, you've been banging on about this rum barbar
know.
rubbish for so long, and then you pick apple pie.
I love pie. That's going in my next book.
It is
What is
definitely.
that? It's a brandy donut.
It's a
thing.
brandy donut thing.
I like that.
Next question, please.
Okay, next question. Who's your parents' current celebrity crush?
Oh, I know this.
Straight in.
Current.
I don't know if it's still my current song.
Rosie went straight in there with that one.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we've got some
I
confidence.
think I've got this.
Okay, ready? In
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Mr. Spock.
Mr. Spock!
Yeah. Mr. Spock from Star Trek. Whoa.
Oh, the new one.
New one.
The old one, Live Long and Prosper. Obsessed.
We have a
Was
cutout.
it Nimoy?
Yeah, but it was Mr. Spock because
This
Mr.
is
yeah,
Spock.
well,
Okay.
Only as Spock.
Yeah.
We have a cardboard cutout of him in our house.
Okay,
It's a bit weird.
you get a point.
We get a point.
Okay.
You get a point there. Okay,
very
ready for ours?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1.
I'm only going for a man because if I ever draw, like, if I write down the real celebrity crush, Shirley will
I
never
can't even
let me
read
watch
what
the
that
movies again.
says. Julian, is that Julian Clary?
I can understand Julian Clary.
Julian Clary.
I mean, he
What?
is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you could have
Lovely
just
guest
written
on the
Mum.
show.
Mum's a celebrity. I wrote Shirley Kemp, and I even covered 2 bases. Or Lorraine.
I never see Shirley as a celebrity, do I?
Ah, speak for yourself. Bigger celebrity than you, pal. do you have any more questions?
We do. Oh, good one. What is the first thing they would grab if there was a fire?
Oh.
First thing.
Okay.
This is quick answer.
Taking this very seriously. Aren't we?
Quick answers on this one.
I don't think. Yeah. Go on then, girls. What have
Okay.
you got?
Oh, Angus. Oh, well, obviously.
That's what I
But I would make sure my wee doggy was okay. But you know that scrapbook you made me for Mother's Day, and it's got all
When I
those
was, like,
pictures.
11.
No, but that's my favourite thing in the world.
Do you still have that?
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh.
Pictures in it and drawings and
Because
wee
I went on a school
stories.
trip, but it was over Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So I was really upset that we wouldn't have Mother's Day together. I was 11.
Yeah, and I love that.
I did
Obviously,
similar thing with
Angus.
My mum.
It's cute, isn't it?
Yes,
That
and
is so
it's,
nice.
it's a treasure thing.
That's so nice. Unfortunately, I can't give you the point. You ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Yeah.
That's priorities, doesn't it?
He's just making me feel bad.
I thought
Mum's
you
not
would
the
write
person you
me.
fancy, and if there was a fire, you wouldn't take her out romantically. You go to your vinyl
Vinyl
records,
records.
preferably ones that have come from Julian Clary. Wow. This is a disaster, mate. This is a
so much
disaster.
trouble.
Terrible.
Lorraine, Rosie, congratulations, you
Yeah.
have won! You've won a lovely mug, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah.
So lovely to have you guys here, and you can listen to What If from wherever you get your podcast. Now, after the break, we're heading to the kitchen to join our in-house chef, Shivi, who's showing us how to make the ultimate fish finger sandwich with homemade tartar sauce.
Oh, see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to mine and London's weekend best.
We have moved to our kitchen with our resident chef, the splendid Shivi Ramoutar. So nice to see you.
Oh, it's been so long.
Yeah, I know.
Whole 7 days.
So what are we cooking today then?
So
Shiv?
today, Ro, I've got inspiration from British summertime. Schools are out, sun is shining. We are going to the seaside today with my fabulous fish finger sandwiches.
Oh, you're having a laugh.
Shivi's fabulous fish finger sandwich.
He's got fish finger sandwich. That's the easiest thing in the world to make.
Oh, is
Get them
it?
out the box.
Well, it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that, Martin. You know I like to put Ro through his paces.
Well, Shiv, very much looking forward to this. And also, you'll be pleased to know, Dad, that my fans have listened to my call because I have this wonderful apron from Deanna from Swindon. Thank you very much. Check this one out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
At last, you've got one from your fan.
Yeah, I know. And also, what does it say on it?
Mr. Good Looking.
And who did she send it to?
He's cooking. All right, to you.
Yeah, she sent it to me. Wonderful.
Oh, it makes your
Cool.
day, right, Ro? You look very tough with that.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Right, so let's get
We're
started.
going to be making fish fingers, and we're going to be making a really simple, delicious homemade tartare sauce. So let's start with the fish finger.
Perfect.
So I've got 500 grams of gorgeous white meaty fish. So this is
Yep.
cod here, but you can use pollock, which is slightly cheaper, hake, haddock, and we're going to fish finger it.
Okay.
So first, grab your knife and just cut right down the middle. So this is a fish fillet. You can also use loin, but it needs to be skinless and boneless.
Yeah.
Okay. So a piece like this, how many people would this serve?
This is roughly four fish fingers. Look at that. So you have, I mean, they're not going to be exact same size that you get from one in the packet, but this is properly fresh and you're doing it yourself. So we've got here 100 grams of flour that I'm going to season really heavily.
Yep.
So a lot of salt and pepper, and this is why I think it's so worth making your own rather than buying, because you can also add at this stage cayenne pepper, you can add basil, you can add thyme, you can make the flavour your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually go quite generous with that, and give that, there's a fork blade to give that a little stir. Also, school's out, you want to have your kids occupied for more than 2 minutes, right? This is a great way. Get them in the kitchen making fish fingers.
Yes.
Little production line. Make them work for their dinner.
Production
Like
line.
that, yeah. Come on, make those fish fingers.
And now we're going to crumb. Now, I don't know if Martin's suffering from a bit of PTSD watching this selection of plates here.
I was going to say, yeah.
Remember, first episode?
That was horrendous. What, you don't remember you trying to batter chicken?
Oh, yes, of course I do. Yeah, you have to get the hands right.
Wet hand, dry hand, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
can't wait for
wondering...
him to do it.
Well, that's why I thought it'd be good for Ro. A few weeks down the line, seeing if he remembers anything. So,
Okay.
one hand wet, one hand dry.
Yeah.
Have a go first?
So, this one, then this one, then this one.
No. Flour, look, have a quick look.
Yeah.
Flour,
Yeah.
egg, wet hand,
Okay.
dry hand.
Okay.
Yeah? So I said I had 100 grams of flour here that we've seasoned. We've got 2 beaten eggs, and then we've got 100 grams of panko crumbs, or you can use golden breadcrumbs. You can even blitz up bread to make your own breadcrumbs, fresh breadcrumbs. And all we're doing is ending up with this gorgeous plate of beautifully homemade fish fingers.
Wow.
How are you doing, Ro?
Yeah.
You're concentrating. You're
I'm
gone quiet.
remembering.
That means
I'm
you're
remembering.
He's really flustered.
I'm really
because I'm
trying
sitting
to
here watching him.
remember. I'm really trying to remember this one.
I know, it's like a, rub your tummy, pat your head thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What is great about this is if you do loads of them, you shove them in the freezer. So over summer, when you're trying to feed everybody at home, you've got fish fingers ready to go. Have them with chips, have them with sandwiches. I mean, it is a no-brainer, and it's so much easier than you'd think, right?
It's not
Very
as easy as I
good.
thought, is it, Ro?
What's that?
The old wet hand, dry hand.
Well, I don't know if you've been watching, but it's pretty simple for me. Look, there's white hand, there it goes.
All right,
see?
Ro. Oh,
That's
you're
it.
still on.
You just
How
got to
many
name
have you done,
it.
Ro?
Oh, well, take my time. What did I say?
You're doing quite well, actually. There's not too much mess going on there. So this really does take me to the seaside. The smell of fish being cooked in a fish finger sandwich, it's just wonderful. So there are 2 ways we can cook the fish. I'll explain this, and then I'll have a little cup of tea while I wait for Ro to catch up. I can put this in the oven, 180 degrees, for about 12 to 15 minutes, and it should cook golden and cook through, and then it's done, and you just turn it over halfway. For me, though, fish like this is to fry. So it's going to fry, it's going to be lovely and crispy, it's going to be gorgeous in that lovely sandwich.
Right,
Gorgeous.
perfect.
Give your hands a wash, and then pop those dishes away, and then we can fry our fish. And we're not deep frying, we don't need any fancy equipment for this. It is simply a large frying pan that we have covered the bottom with vegetable oil, and we've got on a medium-high heat. So we're going to pop 2 on now for you and Martin, and the rest are going to be for our lovely guests. So grab the chunkiest 2 and listen for the sizzle.
Excellent. How many are you got in there? Two.
Two, just two. How many fish fingers are you going to try to fit into that sandwich? Okay.
Could have tried to do a couple more.
So then, whilst that is going on, just pop this out of the way. We are going to make our tartare sauce. So that fish is going to take about 5 minutes, and we're going to flip it over halfway through, and it's going to be golden all the way around and cooked through. So let's not forget about that. But in the meantime, let's get this tartare sauce on the way. So we've got 10 tablespoons of mayonnaise.
Yep.
And then I'm just grating in half a clove of garlic. So just grate it right in there. I'm going to transfer this all to a bowl here so we can see what's happening. So half a clove of garlic, gorgeous 10 tablespoons of mayonnaise here. Can you smell that fish, by the way?
Oh, it smells great.
I've also got going in here 2 tablespoons of capers that have been chopped. Now that will give it a gorgeous, tangy, mouth-puckering flavour. Yeah. Adding to the mouth-puckering flavour, I've got 2 gherkins that have been chopped.
Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering already.
2 teaspoons of parsley. And then actually, do you know what, Ro? Let's just have a little peek at our fish fingers and turn them over.
Yep.
Look at that colour. Absolutely stunning. Ah, this one.
Do you know what I love, Shiv?
Yeah.
Finger on the edge of being burnt.
Oh, we can do that for you very easily. Take the pressure off us.
I do, you know, I do love that bit.
So what, a bit of blackening on the
Kind
crust?
of like in the sandwich.
Yeah.
Is that perverse?
No, I love the use of perverse in that sentence, but no, that's not perverse. Okay, so our tartare sauce needs quite a bit of seasoning, Rose, so get in with the salt there.
Hang on, I'm way behind it. It took me about an hour to grate a garlic. Right, that goes in, that goes in.
Everything goes in, yeah.
In.
You've got gherkins going in and you've got capers going in.
In, yeah.
You see, Martin, it's not as simple as putting a sandwich together, is it? It's not that simple. Well, not for Ro anyway.
Excuse you.
It looks amazing.
Sorry. Okay. And then in we go with the lemon. Now, with any sauce, I reckon it's really important to keep tasting as you go along. So have a kitchen stocked with little spoons that you can keep washing just to have a taste. Perfect. Needs nothing else, if I do say so myself. All right.
Good.
That is going to be gorgeous. So that is the most wonderful glue that holds the whole sandwich together. It's good, right? Do you know what I mean by mouth-puckering goodness? I'm just going to turn these fish fingers onto the long side now. Smelling so good. That tartare sauce will not freeze. It's got mayo, so just pop it in the fridge. Pop it in your fridge for a couple of days. Now, the last bit of our sandwich.
Yep.
Lot of elements, right?
Yep.
So, because it's weekend best, we're going kosh with brioche.
Sure, love brioche.
I love on a day-to-day basis having my fish finger sandwiches in sliced white bread, but I think weekend best, let's go a bit posh. So brioche lightly toasted. Now I'm going to add a little bit of butter. And you're keeping an eye on your fish fingers, Ro?
I am indeed. They've been flipped.
Brilliant. And I promise you, nothing tastes better than simple homemade fish fingers. It beats the ready-bought stuff.
So do you butter your brioche as well as putting the tartare sauce in then?
It is extravagant, I'm totally aware, and it is entirely up to taste. You don't have to, but I love it. It just adds another little layer. I've got iceberg lettuce that I've shredded here, and that's going to go on. And then, let's see how these are doing. Now, obviously, it may take a little less time or more time depending on how chunky your fish is, but I think that, for me, looks about ready. So I've just popped it onto a kitchen towel-lined plate just to soak up any excess oil. Can you hear me over this sizzle?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot of sizzling going on there.
It's good, though. It's smelling amazing.
It's lovely. It's not sound effects, is it? Just tell everybody it's not sound effects.
No, it's not.
There we go.
Fantastic.
And, you know, of course, if you did it in the oven, it's more low-calorie.
Yeah.
And then let's pop these fish fingers onto the lettuce. Listen to that.
Ooh.
You sound like a professional chef, Ro.
This one's going to be
That's the best
very
thing you cook,
tasty. Wait for this. Oh, it's breaking. No!
Hold on, use
don't
your fish
squash
slice, Ro. Fish slice. Just there. That maybe just to... Ah! No!
Oh, we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Make it work. Oh.
Make it work.
So look at that one. That one's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you should end up with something that kind of looks like a little Tetris in a bun. So my two fish fingers are piled on top of that shredded lettuce, on top of that gorgeous, mouth-puckering tartare sauce, and I'm going to pile on. Look, that's looking brilliant, Ro. Look at that. We'll ignore the second one.
Yeah.
You got a bit heavy-handed with your tongs there.
Yeah, I did,
but once you put the sauce on top,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
No. You can smush it down anyway. Look at that. Yes, I'm a generous tartar spreader. Look. Oh. Now, because I'm obsessed with... This is drinkable, right? This tartar sauce is drinkable. I'm going to pile that in here and serve extra because it is always nice to have extra. And do you know what's lovely about this tartar sauce? You can add jalapenos, you can add chili to make it a little bit more of a spicy tartar sauce.
wow,
So this
my mouth is watering.
will make anybody on summer holiday feel like if they're by the seaside. Ready to go, Ro?
I'm ready to go.
And after all that hard work, Ro,
Yep.
oh, not really hard work at all, a delicious, fabulous fish finger sandwich with homemade tartar sauce.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
this,
yeah.
honestly, it looks absolutely
Well done.
amazing.
Very good.
Kid, this isn't just a fish finger sandwich. This is probably the best fish finger sandwich in the world, bar none, that I've
wow.
ever tasted. It is absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That is so good.
yeah.
So, Shiv, how much would each portion be?
So it's £3 a portion, but we did use slightly more expensive cod and we poshed it up with brioche. If you use pollock and a simple white bap, it should be just over £1.50 a sandwich.
Lovely.
For all the details on how to make Shivi's fish finger sandwich, head over to itv.com/food. Looking forward to seeing you back here next week, right?
Thank you, can't wait.
That is so nice.
Yeah.
We'd also love to wear your aprons on the show, so email us your ideas at weekendbest@cactustv.co.uk.
Right, time for a break, but don't go anywhere because we're going to be meeting our weekend best VIP. That's a very interesting person.
Plus, we've got some top TV and film recommendations coming your way. See you in a bit.
See ya. Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best. Keeping us company this morning, we've got Lorraine Kelly.
Yes.
The daughter Rosie Smith, alongside Bacon Supremo, Candice Brown.
Yes. Girls, tuck into
Please come
your
in.
fish finger sandwich. I mean,
Oh my
they are
God.
absolutely phenomenal.
really.
Oh my God.
Yeah, too good. Too good.
That's too
So
good.
good.
It's the homemade tartar sauce.
Great minds. Excuse me, talking my mouthful, but I've got simmer in my book. Just that proper comfort food.
Oh, it really
Nostalgia.
This is
yeah,
the best.
so good.
Very good. Thank you very much for that, Shivi. Now, look, if you're in desperate need of some top-notch TV and film recommendations, then you're in luck because here is our best picks.
Right, my pick this week, crime drama Baptiste, which is back for its second series. It's all about French private investigator Baptiste, who specialises in looking for missing people. It is set to be one of the biggest dramas of the summer. Let's have a look.
I'm Julien Baptiste.
Wonderful. Tomorrow night, BBC One, 9 o'clock.
Very good. Now, I am bringing it back to the 90s with my pick this week. I'm so excited, OK? My favourite movie as a child is back in a new way. Space Jam. That's right. If one live-action animated CGI basketball-themed comedy film wasn't enough for you, they're bringing out another one. So 25 years after the original, this new version of the film stars basketball legend LeBron James and, of course, all of the Looney Tunes. It looks as mad as the first one, and I'm going to enjoy this way too much. Let's take a look.
What's happening?
Up the jam.
I look expensive.
Up the
Introducing the Goon Squad.
She got me. I'm not a betting duck, but my money's on the other team.
Oh, that looks amazing, doesn't it? I'll tell you something, when the first one came out, you were obsessed. No, you infatuated. No, in love with Lola Bunny.
Yeah. Lola Bunny's still probably my celebrity crush. Yeah, I would definitely say that. A Space Jam, A New Legacy, is out in cinemas now. Now, Rosie, Lorraine, you guys have a pick together.
We do.
You want to go?
Below Deck.
Below Deck.
Rosie got me into Below Deck last year, and we just binged it.
Yeah.
And your dad kept coming into the room going, "Is that still on?"
Yeah.
Because we were watching every single episode.
Yeah, and Below Deck Med, Below Deck Yacht.
Have you watched every single one of them?
Every single
You're the
episode.
only other two people that have, because I have as well. Every single
Isn't
series.
it the best?
It's
best.
And there's a new series out
I
now.
know.
Yeah.
Hurrah!
Rosie, for those people that haven't been able to binge watch it yet, how would you describe it? What is it?
It's following the crew of luxury yachting
Yeah.
and the awful people that they have to serve.
Yeah, the
I
ones
love
that
that.
charted it, well, they're awful, they're absolutely hideous. But yeah, it's the shenanigans. There's a lot of
shenanigans.
That's a good word.
Okay.
That's a very, very good
Yeah.
word.
Yes.
for what
Let's
goes
take a
on.
quick look.
We have a situation. Our last two groups of charter people have canceled. So, effectively, our season just ended.
What?
That's insane.
This is something I've never experienced, ever. And it's scary as hell. And it's frustrating.
It's so good. Great stuff. Brilliant recommendation there.
Yeah, right. Time now to meet another Weekend Best VIP. That is very interesting person.
Yeah, and as the British Grand Prix is happening this weekend, who better to chat to than someone who is actually going to be speeding around the legendary Silverstone track? Please welcome professional racing and stunt driver Jessica Hawkins. Hey, Jessica. Jessica, so lovely to have you here today. And I guess the first question is, you're at the British Grand Prix in the W Series later on today. Now, for those that may have never heard of the W Series, what is it and what's its significance at the Grand Prix this year?
So W Series is a platform for female racing drivers. Male and female normally race together, but there is severe lack of female racers. So it's a platform to showcase female talent. We raced on the DTM package 2 years ago in 2019, and it did such an amazing job. There was only one place for it to go at the forefront of motorsport. So yes, we now race alongside Formula One.
Amazing.
Amazing. But before you were in the cars, you were actually a British go-karting champion, right?
Yeah, I was British champion when I was 12, and what really hindered my progression within motorsport was funding. It's no secret that motorsport is an extremely expensive sport, and so that really hindered my development. And it wasn't until 2019 that I've really been given another chance of it. So a few years before that, I was exploring different routes and went into stunt driving. But W Series really has given me the opportunity to go back racing.
But where did your love of cars first come from?
I was always a really sporty child. I played football for Reading at a really young age. I was into all sports, anything sporty I was into. And I was playing golf with my dad one day, and in the distance there was a small kart track, and I just begged my dad to let me have a go. I think he was not keen on the idea, and luckily for him, I was too small at the time. But we went back a few months later, and the height restrictions moved down. They'd got some smaller karts, so had a go and instantly fell in love with it, and that was then what I wanted to do. And here we are many years later, and I've made a career out of it, so I'm very proud.
Oh, mate, you should be so proud. And you mentioned as well, stunt driving. That's such an impressive thing to have on a CV, stunt driver as well. And it's really exciting because you're going to be in the next Bond film, am I right?
Yeah, so that was an incredible experience. So obviously, I can't say too much about it, but yeah, that was an incredible experience and one that I'll keep close to me forever.
Do you get scared doing stunt driving?
Not really scared, I guess, no. To me, it's exciting, so...
So when we see Daniel Craig, what we really know is it's you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jessica, you obviously you've got a branding role with Aston Martin this year. Now, talk to us about that. How did that come about, and what does it involve?
Yeah, so literally within the last few months, been announced as the Aston Martin Formula One team driver ambassador. That's a role that I never that's something you dream of when you're a really small child. So
Yeah, I mean, what a team to do that with. Fantastic. Hey, Jessica, thank you so much for joining us today, mate, and all the best with the race. We're all going to be rooting for you. Let's hear it for Jessica Hawkins, everyone.
Good luck, Jessica. That's your lot for today. But if you fancy watching this all over again or you missed any of the show, you can catch up now on the ITV Hub.
Thanks so much to our guests, Lorraine and Rosie.
Candice Brown.
Yes. And, of course, Shivi.
We're back tomorrow with AJ Adudu, Denise Van Outen and Jay Blades.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.